So go up to Tennessee. They have like quarter comics.
We have quarter bins and methamphetamines. If you do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
For more than a century, comic books, television, and movies have existed. Each separate, broken, with their gatekeepers.
No!
Then, something happened that brought all media together. The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic community. Put your hands together, comic fan. Comics are for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, live Comic Book Wednesday, a weekly YouTube show about comic books with Lady Fantastic. Comics on the Mind.
Get your hands up!
Miracleman. Special guest appearances by Ace. And your host, Not Near Mint. Welcome to Not Near Mint.
No.
Welcome to a brand new episode of Not Near Mint. It is the 102nd episode. It is August the 11th, 2021. Today we have two Robin stories in the same day. The second Robin, the dead but not dead, Jason Todd, he's going to be getting his own Red Hood HBO Max TV series. Also, the third canonical Robin, Tim Drake, he comes out as bisexual in the Batman Urban Legends number 6 that comes out today. And what did Robin get today? Dick. We got a great show for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else watching. Replay viewers, live viewers, we want to welcome the team together. They are known as the Band of Bards. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, hey, there's my microphone. What's up?
Oh man, there's like a whole bunch more than there were just a minute ago.
Everyone's here. Sorry, I'm in my basement. I don't have a proper hangout. It's just, always under construction.
It's okay. I literally am in an outhouse. That's why I have comic books up instead. No problem.
Yes. Oh, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. So very excited to have you. And you know what? What do you say?
Thanks for having us.
What do you say we just get into it, Rob?
Absolutely. So you have a new project. You have a website where people can visit you at with the Band of Bards over at the threadless.com. But otherwise, the new book, it is called, and I should have it here, it's the Kickstarter Final Gamble. And I can go ahead and share the screen.
I've never heard of that. I don't know what you're talking about.
What is that?
It would have been great if you guys had corrected them and been like, "No, it's like we're talking about like our book's called like Fluffy Bunnies. What are you doing?"
It's fluffy bunnies.
So tell us about the book.
Who wants to go first?
I say Bobby go first because Bobby's the writer and
It's her book.
Yeah, she can tell you what best.
Okie dokie.
Woo woo.
So Final Gamble is a thriller/horror inspired by Japanese gambling manga such as Kaiji, Akagi, and Kakegurui that sees two down-on-their-luck schlubs with nothing to live for winding up in the grasp of the richest people society has to offer with a very dark sense of entertainment, and their only hope to escape them is to win a series of increasingly dangerous games of chance. The series mixes together elements of tabletop gaming, horror, psychological horror, and martial arts combat.
Woo woo.
Yeah, down on their luck schlubs. That sounds like me and Rob. So I have a feeling we can relate to this one.
Hey, I represent that remark.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason Chris and I connected with it.
Yeah, we just,
Spoke to you, huh?
yeah, I think so. For sure.
So is this Bobby? Is this the first book you've written?
This is my first professionally published comic. I have previously self-published a comic called Flame Angel, which didn't go great. I'm proud of what I did, but there just wasn't enough support for future issues.
Okay.
And a short story I wrote called Paul was also featured in a charity anthology, which was made from stories written for Gail Simone's comic school.
Very nice.
Oh, wow.
Very nice. I remember talking about that comic school. So Jorge,
Yes.
where do you come into all this?
So Bobby reached out to me to work on the book. I think my sense of time in the
Start of
pandemic.
last year.
Yeah, my sense of time in the pandemic. I was like, oh, it was like 2 years ago. No, it was a year ago. Yeah, Bobby reached out to me to work on Final Gamble, and I really just liked the premise. Like everything that Bobby had come up with, it fit right into the kind of comics that I really enjoy. Like, I think, like Bobby, I'm also really inspired by manga and sort of comics where conflict is resolved not necessarily with like it's not always hand-to-hand combat or power beams, and it's things where tension. Like I think gambling comics are kind of like an interesting subset of like crime comics. It's like that whole it has all the same kind of tensions that like The Godfather or like a Martin Scorsese film, like though it has those same kind of tensions, but in like a in an interesting position that people don't always necessarily find themselves in day to day. And so we worked on the pitch together, and then we were lucky enough to get picked up. It's awesome.
That's really great to hear. The book looks very interesting. I went through the Kickstarter. I think it was last week or the week before. I was doing a thread, and you guys had brought it up to me about great Kickstarters are going on right now, and I added to it because it's a cool looking one. So Band of Bards guys, how do you get involved?
Oh goodness, how did we get involved, Tim? We don't want to start from the beginning. It's a long story.
First, there was nothing.
First, there was nothing, and then there was a bang, and then everything.
Oh, we were really lucky that
Yeah.
Final Gamble didn't just come in the first day. It was the very first submission that came into us, and that's not the reason it's the first one that we're putting out. Like it is, we're not just going absolutely sequential that way. It just worked out, right? And I mean, this team of creators with Bobby, Jorge, Harry, and George, just I don't know if I could say enough great things about them to ever do it justice. They just are so impressive when you listen to Bobby speak about her story I mean, it's the enthusiasm is infectious, and it was so clear to us like, right off the bat. She knew her characters. She had thought through everything in detail. She had a very thorough plan plotted out for way more than 6 issues. Whatever Gail Simone's school is putting out, it's impressive.
I don't have much to add to that. I feel like he read that directly from my mind, and I don't. Yeah. So train wreck. I said earlier I was going to be a train wreck, and I feel like one. So hi.
You're doing great. You're an entertaining train wreck at the worst, Chris. So, Jorge, I wanted to ask you. I'm so sorry I forgot. But are you doing the coloring on the book as well?
No, I'm doing the pencils and the inks, and Harry's our colorist.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. Well, that's
you may know him from books like Vagrant Queen, Test, and the Bride.
Yeah, Vagrant Queen was the one that popped in my mind. Yeah, very cool. So, I wanted to have you guys on from Band of Bards as well, because I really liked the message in your bio there. When we were talking, we've spoke a few times. Can you tell me a little bit more about your guys' mission?
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh my God, you passed it off to me. How dare you?
Dude.
Oh goodness. Okay. I'm very nervous in my basement right now.
Just breathe through it, man. We'll make it.
Well, I think that when everything started off, however, it's been a long time, right? Tim and I started this conversation about what we wanted to do a number of years ago, and the pandemic kind of gave us the best opportunity to kind of put everything together, and the extra time to really build on it and build on our idea. And I think the original concept was military oral histories. Tim is a veteran, and he had come to me a number of years ago and said, "Hey, what do you think about this idea?" And at the time, I was working on my own webcomic, and it's super busy, and it really didn't work out. But we kept talking and throwing ideas back and forth over, I don't know, since like 2018 or something like that, 2017, and it kind of morphed into this idea where we recognized in this industry and in comics as a whole, there's the best way to do it, like discrepancy in help me, my brain is frozen. Tim.
With the initial concept there was that, for me,
thank you.
What you saw in popular media when it came to like any kind of military or veteran-centric story, right, was you had like 2 boxes that people fit into, whether they're like the special forces go shoot them up kind of story, or like a vet who's just riddled with PTSD and is like a danger to themselves and everybody else. So like, you want to talk about like horrible stereotypes and just kind of tokenizing those 2 populations. And obviously
someone heat up his brain. Come on, right. Put it in the microwave.
There's just that personal connection there that really drove me nuts, and still does, right? And as Chris was saying, we kicked this idea around for several years now, and what we realized was what we're talking about was getting more authentic representation on these types of stories in popular media. And there's a ton of like great academic research and stuff on the civil military divide in America, right? That's not like the role I could play on that. So I thought we could, though, do something where we collect oral histories and publish them as graphic novel anthologies. So the logical progression with this is you just sit around, and if you just take the time to pay attention, it's not hard to see how the comics industry fails in giving, authentic representation to all their fans. It's sliced in a million different ways. Veterans
why
could have like
pull
a great
ourselves
soapbox
into it.
to stand on, right?
Yeah.
And we get like this great status bestowed upon us. So why not use that for something that's a greater good beyond just, this narrow spectrum of that representation issue, and just take it all on, and use whatever it is I can to start creating a platform, lift up everybody else's voice, and just I'll sit back and shut the hell up, and please, by all means, tell everybody stories.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fantastic mission. I can fully support something like that. And it'll definitely be something that drives me to keep an eye out on you.
You said so much better than me, Tim. Thank you.
It's the kicks. I got kickstarted.
You can.
Yeah, Chris, you're doing a great job, buddy. Don't worry about it.
I appreciate the kind words.
So double back a little bit here. Bobby.
Yeah.
You had said you'd done the Gail Simone School of Comics.
Yes.
So are we talking the long Twitter thread and the submissions thing she was doing?
Yeah, basically what it was she basically gave a guideline for how to write a 6 to 8 page comic over the course of a few days, going through it microscopically each single step. And this wasn't the first time I'd written a script by any means. I'd already written dozens of issues of my first series that will never see the light of day. So I do have the scripting process work, but this really helped me to refine my craft. And it's just a thing with me, this is with my prose as well as comics. I have never seen myself as being too good at writing short stories. So I was really proud of what I was able to accomplish in only 6 pages with the story I wrote for that.
Yeah, that's great. She's genuinely a gem when it comes to the world of comics.
She is also a bear.
Yes, yes, she is. Allegedly a bear.
So we're told.
That's really great to hear. Jorge.
Yes.
And I hope you all don't mind the round robin, but there's so many of you. So Jorge, tell us about how did you get involved in being an artist to begin with? I mean, have you always drawn? Are you a doodler from a young age?
Yeah, ever since I was little, I used to draw all the time. I think all kids kind of draw a lot. Because it's like, art class is always fun. But then throughout the years, I found myself just, I guess, like falling away from drawing. I wasn't doing it as much, except for just like occasionally, or like I drew the cover for my like middle school yearbook, things like that. But it didn't mean anything to me. But then when I was in high school, a friend of mine on the wrestling team, because I was a jock, she lent me a volume of Rama 1/2, and yeah,
that got me started too.
Yeah.
I was watching that in 7th grade in the 90s, so you got my heart there.
Yeah,
I used to get in the library all the time.
Yeah, and so when she brought it to the it was after practice, she was reading it, and she was like, "Oh, do you want to take a look?" And I flipped through like the first couple of pages, and she goes, "Oh, do you want to borrow it?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm good. It's cool." And then that was a Friday, and I spent the next like couple of days going through withdrawals of like, what happens next? Why didn't I just borrow the thing? I didn't know where to get these things either, so I was like, wait a minute, I used to draw all the time. I'll just draw my own. And so I started drawing a comic. It was crude. It was, of course, I was like 16. I didn't know what I was doing. Still kind of don't. But that first taste, like that idea of being able to create a story that would be that engrossing. I started at 16. By the time I was, I think, 25, I had self-published like 7 or 8 graphic novels. Like I had already done like my 1,000 pages. They say like, oh, you have to draw like 1,000 pages before you do a first good one. Mm-hmm. But then I realized that I was kind of a small fish in a small pond. Being from El Paso, Texas, there's not really a big comics community there. Mm-hmm. No one was ever going to discover a book from me there. So I ended up deciding, well, if I'm going to make the most of my life and make comics make the comics that I wanted to read, because I love stories that like break your heart, or the stories that where you become emotionally invested in characters and things like that. And I've always wanted to create things like that. So I moved down to Atlanta to get my master's degree from the Savannah College of Art and Design, and that's where I started really figuring out how I wanted to tell stories, and sort of how I could make these stories as powerful as I could, and using all of the amazing techniques from like all different genres of comics. And then that's where, as far as like my origin story goes, like right out of college, that's when David Pepos messaged me and was like, "Hey, do you want to work on this thing? It's like Calvin and Hobbes meets Sin City." I said, "Sure."
Nice.
Yeah, and then Spencer and Locke was
The
born.
best book ever. I was a fangirl of Jorge's work long before I recruited him for this project.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, Spencer, we've had David on here, and Spencer and Locke is one of those books that, like, my non-comic reading friends, I'm like, read Spencer and Locke. They're like, man, I'm like, you like Calvin and Hobbes, right? Yeah. Now watch him as a dick.
Hold on. I saw this comment go by, and I don't know who's he referring to. The woke mob destroying comics. Is that us?
Oh yeah, we get
That's
those
us.
from time to time.
Some of you guys
Everywhere we go, it's
That's
didn't even
you,
look,
that's me, that's all
Mm.
of us. And you know what we say to them? Thanks for the
Thanks for the
view.
Yeah, you know what?
We
You know
got
what?
our own name for that,
Maybe
actually.
comics needs to get destroyed if it's gotten this bad. So you burn it down and then you renew it, right? That's what I said the other day.
Right on, man.
Urotsuka Doji, one of my favorite animes.
Yeah.
Tim, what's your comment, sir?
Asshole nerds, fuck off.
Yeah,
Chris and I were a couple old punks, right?
This is
And
18
that's
plus,
just
right?
our-
We can swear.
Oh yeah,
All
not
I
yet.
can
There's a
ever
show
think
designed
of
for
is-
audiences over the age of 18. Anybody under the age of 18 should not watch Not Near Mint. And if you're Comicsgate, you can suck my ass. So,
Quote us on that.
yeah, please.
Yeah, quote it.
Make
Fine.
37 rage videos about it. I dare you. So,
Come for me on the Twitter, okay, guys?
so Jorge, I'm so sorry. We broke into you there. So you worked
Yeah.
with David. You did Spencer and Locke. What have you done? What have you done? Other stuff since then?
Outside of that, like the freelance life is a very tricky one. It's a lot of running around and making sure that you're in people's eyesight. But the first comic, like I was telling you all, Ramen 1/2 was the first one that made me want to be a comic artist. And so because I was reading a lot of manga, those in my mind, like that was kind of how you did it. You wrote and you drew your own stories. And so like all those comics that those ones that I self-published, they were all ones that I wrote myself. And so in addition to like the projects that I do with other people, because like I still think it's important to work with other writers and other people, because the more different voices and the more different mindsets that I can get, that I can intake, the better person and the better artist I'll become. And so with I'm also working on a sort of I was reading a lot of Junji Ito in college as well, behind Uzumaki and things like that. And so I wanted to do my own take on like the Lovecraftian horror, but I wanted to do it something that felt more like my style. So I'm writing a webcomic. It was my thesis comic actually for my master's degree, called Curse of the Eel. And it's about a bullied goth girl who she loves those like dark eldritch horror stories. And then she discovers a eldritch creature, but it doesn't live up to her expectations. And it's kind of like my take on horror, but with like comedy and other dumb elements in it. But other than that, like it's just working on stories just to put them down.
Right on.
Hell yeah.
That's cool.
I think that if there was an eldritch creature that you wound up seeing in person and you had any expectations at all and you were able to have them, it would just be the disappointment of, I'm still alive.
Yeah, that's pretty much the first chapter of Curse of the Eel. I'm on.
Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm working on chapter 15 now, so it's like it's still going and it's doing pretty well, I hope.
That's great.
Excellent.
That's great.
Oh, thank you.
So, Chris and Tim, as publishers of comics, even though this is the first one, we all know, you start making comics and you start stacking gold bricks.
Yeah.
And, so I'm sure you both have homes literally made of solid gold. A Rolex mobile, isn't that the car that they're talking about in Parks and Rec? You can't drive it. It's just made of Rolexes.
There's fucking spiders down here.
So
I got it. It's a basement. But I mean, I have a basement, but there's some fucking big bugs.
So knowing that,
I could do so much with that space.
I got to put up some walls. Lumber is so expensive now, though, because panic buying.
Pick some long boxes of comic books.
Yeah, somewhere.
Totally unrelated to the conversation, but because you brought it up, I got a good friend in international logistics who told me that Home Depot just bought their own shipping container ship to start moving lumber back into the States at a cheaper price. So don't worry, we're going to see lower prices soon.
That's good. I need those, $45 2x4s.
I built most of my storage for my comic collection. I got just under 26,000 comics in the house, and I built my shelving. I do have a section of long boxes, but most of it's actually on shelving. I feel your pain because I moved and wanted to build a new one. I was like, that's a $200 bookcase. I ain't building that shit. But back to what I was asking you. So seeing as how you're independently wealthy now and you're clearly in Aruba, what were your day jobs before you were publishing comics?
Oh, God. Tim, you want to go first? Yours is fun.
Yeah, I'm a Fed, so I probably can't speak about it too much. It's nothing.
Tim wasn't on the
nothing.
show to begin with. We know nothing about Tim whatsoever.
I know.
Blur his face out.
I know everything about you guys. No, it's a super boring job. It's nothing to talk about anyway. But I do now have to say that nothing I say right now or any opinions and views expressed by myself represent the federal government of the United States.
So you're saying it's not the federal government's official position that go fuck yourself comics gate? That's not. That's not.
No, I'm going to say it is. I'm going to say that.
So very
You know what? With the new administration, it might be.
It might be.
It might be.
Fuck Comicsgate. I work I work for a health insurance company. It pays my bills. It's
Hey.
I mean,
What are you gonna do, right?
helps me do this. Yeah.
Well, do you not hate what you do?
I don't hate it.
I think that's
It's a
the
lot
most
of work.
people can ask for.
Yeah. I mean, I come from I'm pushing 40 now, and I come from a long line of years of hating my job. And this last one has not been that bad. I've kept it around for about a decade now. So, working my way up the corporate ladder, so to speak. What they all say when you get a corporate job. And then, the pandemic hits and you're like, shit, man, I'm going to publish fucking comics. Let's do this instead. That's way more fun. So,
all it takes is a global life-changing event to make people go, I hate what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
I work. Wait a second. Why was I driving to work? I can just turn on a camera.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
I work all day and then I pause and then I work some more. So it's fun.
Right.
It's fun. Yeah. Comics is a job that doesn't end. I've realized even when I'm sleeping and I wake up to check the Twitter machine and I realized that I missed a whole bunch of stuff and I had to catch up and do retweets and, try to get this Kickstarter to hit goals so I can stop worrying and being what's that word? Anxious all the time.
Anxious, yes. Anxiety in the world of comics.
Creator anxiety? No way. That doesn't exist. There's no such thing. Artists with anxiety.
So, Bobby.
Yeah.
What made you want to go with a band of Bards? What drove you there?
Oh, that's easy. Image said no.
I knew it. No.
But to be fair, Image didn't know what they were doing to begin with because they were going to be publishing something by Warren Ellis and went, wait a second, we're publishing something by Warren Ellis? So they don't know what they're doing. You do.
Let me ask Bobby, let me ask you, hold on. Did Image actually send you a rejection?
Yeah.
My God, you're lucky there because they didn't even bother with me. So
well, I mean, I guess that's as good of an origin story as any.
But no, seriously, the list of comic publishers that accept submissions and aren't trash is a very small one. Very, very small.
Yeah.
So when I saw a band of Bards pop up, oh, hey, there's this new publisher, and I read their statement, oh, we're about diversity, I thought, okay, you know what? Image, Dark Horse, Action Lab, they're not taking me. Let's try this out. And thankfully, it ended up being a perfect fit.
I appreciate you taking that chance with us.
Yeah, big time. You know, Chris and I have this conversation a lot, and that you can put out on the internet or on paper if you're super old like us, anything you want, right? You can say you are whatever, but you have to put action to word and actually follow up on it. So, at a certain point, you do have to hope that people take the leap of faith on you first, so that you can then, act on that and make their creation come to life and show that, you're not just spinning a great story to get people to come and work with it. You're genuinely trying to do what you're saying you're doing.
You have no idea how much I wish law offices were interested in leaps of faith right now, because no experience ain't easy to get a job.
Well, Bobby, if you're willing to not be an attorney and just be a court reporter, there's plenty of people over here just willing to go, okay, what's your name? What's your name? Okay, I'm swearing you in, and now I'm just going to shut the fuck up and just punch some buttons over here.
In case you were wondering, Rob's a court reporter.
I'm not an attorney. Don't take my advice, whether it be legal or comics.
I think the comics advice is fair. So Jorge,
yes.
Quick question for you. Seeing as how you have some experience here, I figure you'd be able to probably best articulate this answer. So,
I'll do my best.
Calvin and Hobbes versus Spencer and Locke. Who wins in that fight?
No!
Don't you?
No, I got, as a Spencer Locke's #1 fan, I've got the answer to this, actually.
Oh.
Are you okay with that? Me answering for that, Jorge?
I mean, I'm gonna. Yeah, you can answer, but I also have my
I'll let you go first.
I think that Calvin and Hobbes wins because it's drawn by Bill Watterson. That's the answer.
Game respects game, and that's probably the best possible answer right there. So,
I have the same outcome but different reasoning. But my reasoning is less fun.
What's your reasoning?
I'm waiting.
Easy. Locke wouldn't hurt a kid.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair. Okay.
See, in my mind, I would have gone Calvin and Hobbes only because there is no such thing as something he can't manifest into reality with his imagination, whereas Spencer and Locke, not quite so much.
Let's be fair too. I grew up in the '90s, so Calvin. I've seen enough trucks to know that Calvin would probably just piss on you anyway.
That's true. It's like his ultimate superpower. It's like
pissing on a 23 right there. Holy cow!
It's like in Superman 2 when he could all of a sudden split into 3 different versions of himself in the Fortress of Solitude. It's like, oh, look at this fucking magical superpower he got all of a sudden.
I always liked when he flew around the world in the wrong way and turned back time.
It was good.
Yeah.
They should have played that song, the Turn Back Time song. They should have played that.
No way.
That would have made the movie better.
Yeah.
You know,
We would be the worst producers of all time. We're worse than the person that's taking over for Jeopardy right now, going, "Hey, you know, I pay the bills around here. Cast me."
yeah, yeah. Well, it's also going to be Blossom from the 90s TV
I'm
show.
good with
Blossom's going to be the
Blossom.
co-host, and
I wanted LeVar.
Blossom is anti-vax. And
Is she really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's all
I didn't
kinds
know
of
that.
Hollywood crazy.
I mean, I
Yeah.
understand that she's a physicist, but it's like doctors, kind of like attorneys, like they have a niche, but they like to dabble in other things. But when they dabble, they know shit about what they're dabbling in.
Yeah, I could have a doctor in ophthalmology. It doesn't mean I should be telling you about fucking viruses.
Yes.
I used to have a lot of friends on Facebook that were doctors. We parted ways.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing the level of expertise people have come up with in the last few years, isn't it? So,
Some assholes think they can publish some comics.
I'm
Well-
right here.
But when you get to the second issue, that's when you're a real comics person.
you know, to be fair, the last few years has shown us that just about any asshole can publish a comic. It's whether or not they deliver it, and that's really what's going to matter is delivering it, right?
I think that's kind of where we are, right? Like, we are. It happened rather quickly, but we're kind of in like the put up or shut up phase, and you know, we want to make comics.
Yeah.
Let's make comics.
Talk about that too, and how, like, you know, Image was already brought up, but you know, and then in the lead up to us actually incorporating as a publisher, we did a ton of research, and you know, at one point we were just spinning through all sorts of different indie publishers and reading their backstories and their histories, how they came about, why they did, like what their kind of different individual role was, or you know, we were thinking, what would like a comics publisher look like if it was owned, right? And the next day, I think, is when I cracked over to Image to really study that, and I'm like, this is kind of what I had in mind in terms of like what an employee-owned publisher would look like. And so we've looked to them as, you know, a benchmark or an example. And the nice thing is we can learn from a lot of their mistakes, right? And one of those was how they overpromised a bit as they started out, you know, and there were so many orders coming in because they were such big names, and they couldn't stick to a consistent publishing schedule, and they couldn't deliver on time, you know, and the standard. And that's a conversation we've had quite a bit, Chris and I, and that we need to make sure that we're not just getting number ones out there and not being able to follow it up. And you need to have number two and number three and so on in the shoot, ready to go on schedule and delivering a quality book to your retailers as your true customers of a publisher. Retailers, talk to us. And
distribution.
You know, that's really like the next big hurdle for us. And after that, it would be finding that distribution partner so that you can really get these fantastic stories out to as many people as you can, and you know, give those creative teams their you know, do justice by them.
Right on. That's a good answer right there. Just so you know, that's a good summation.
Again, better answer than I could ever give. I'm mumble.
Everhurst.
You got the questions beforehand? That's not fair. This is like a presidential debate right now.
It's a trick of my job.
That's you hacked into their system and found these questions. I can't.
Listen, I have to say, he definitely did not get any of the questions first because I totally dropped the ball today. Thank goodness for Ace getting you guys the contact information. I apologize that I did not get on top of that.
Fired.
But yeah, I should totally be fired. Ace is really kicking my butt in the guest department lately.
Ace knows what they're doing.
Oh yes, they do. So you know, we're coming up on just about 45 minutes here. I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to get back out there and keep making comics, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the Kickstarter before we do that. Rob, you want to pull that back up real quick for everybody so we can see it? And
yeah, we have that dropped in the chat right now for anybody that wants to go check that out, and I can bring that back up.
Please do check it out. We're so close to hitting that funding goal. And
if we hit $6,000 tonight, I might actually be able to sleep.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, we're close. We're so close.
Yeah, we're just at that 90% mark, and if we hit 90%, we'll start unveiling those stretch goals.
I want to see the stretch goals, so let's get them to 90% tonight if we can, gang. Listen, I'm going to tell you what I've heard. I've talked to a lot of Kickstarter creators. I backed a lot of Kickstarters. I think I'm currently at 58 in the last 2 years, and there's so many great books coming out right now. You just how do you pass them up? I'll tell you right now, I think you guys are going to crush this goal. It's a great looking project. Bobby, the passion that I hear from you with every single word you say about this book, woo, I'll tell you what, if anybody hears you, they're going to back this book.
Well, by that logic, everyone listening right now should be backing the book.
That's for sure. So there you go. You've reached 6,000 in Canadian dollars. So
we are based in Buffalo.
Right.
Yeah, we're close enough. Yeah, just pop over the border and change
Walk
it.
right
Right
across the street, really.
Do they let you edit your Kickstarter from country and change it? Pop over the top.
I don't know if I can.
Do you lose money when you come back?
If I can do one thing about being here in Buffalo, right, is that it has allowed us as a self-distributing operation to actually crack that, shipping to Canada nut a little bit, and
we just walk across the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah, we will be able to self-export and mail domestically from Ontario to all of our Canadian customers. So that will save a little dough for them.
You kind of nailed it there, walking across the Rainbow Bridge. I can see that conversation now. Purpose of visit. We're here to drop off these righteous ass comics.
We got this box of comics. What do you have in your hold on. What are you trying to bring something over into Canada? Do you have guns, drugs? Oh, we just have 1,000 books. 1,024
cool
page
comics, vial of COVID, just the usual.
There's literally no way they would let you across with those comics.
We're gonna have to put them in the tires or something.
More regulated than drugs in Canada, from what I heard.
That's what we've been told. It's a dangerous sport, especially you get into Toronto with a box of comics, man. You're fucked.
You're fucked. You're done for.
Mm-hmm.
So less than $700 to get these guys over the goal. Everybody in the chat, those of you who come by later, definitely go check it out at Kickstarter. Final Gamble. It's a beautiful looking book. Great art, Jorge. I love it. I think you've got a great future in it. If you keep exploring comic art, you're a name I'm going to be watching out for. Bobby, listen, you ever write a book again, I don't care what it is, I want you to come on the show so we can talk again.
Will do. Noted. Thank you.
Because man, this has been fun. The chat is alive with people going, "Wow, I like Bobby." So don't miss out on coming back and seeing us again. And Tim and Chris, guys, any project you do for the future, this please reach out. We want to have you back on the show.
Thank you for having us.
We got
it's been awesome.
We've got title number 2.
Each of you want to shout out your social media where people can find you. Let's go around in a big round robin. Chris,
let Tim go first. Let Tim go first because he had something that he was just.
We've got Prospects. Our second title will be rolling out to Kickstarter September 28th. So be great to come back on for that. And I do want to point out one thing with the Kickstarter. Checking it, going through there, picking your pledge, picking your reward tier. When you hit to the add-ons, there's a creator tip, right? There's front end compensation for this team, and there's back end compensation from us. We're trying to put every possible way to get more money to the creative teams. So there's a creator tip as an add-on. Starts at $2. It's unlimited quantity. So you want to tip $20. Quantity at 10, hit that as you're going out, get some more money into the pocket of the creative team.
I like that. There's something you've never heard a publisher say before. Let's get more money to the creator.
That's like the third time I've heard that today. I think that, that's the point of all this, right? I think with me and Tim, my hair is so fucked up tonight.
No, it looks great. You look great. You look great, man.
The thing is, and I'm gonna talk for a second, but I think that was really one of the big things that we wanted to do, because Tim and I'm a creator, Tim's a creator, and we have our own ideas. But I think when it came down to it, in the end of it all, it's leveling that playing field, right? Like, especially with all the stuff that's coming out about Marvel now, not paying people or sending them a thank you card and a check for $5,000 when they're making billions of dollars. Disney, what the fuck?
Or the big names in the industry flooding to a platform known for the alt-right.
Oh yeah, starting that Substack stuff. I can't handle it today.
Oh right.
But we like that's the point is, we're not trying to be a run-of-the-mill publisher. It's not the thing that we want to do. We want to change it and how it works, and it should be creator focused. It always should have been creator focused. So that's the plan, and that's what we're gonna stick to. And hopefully, when this gets funded and we move on to the second issue and third issue, and then the 36th issue, Bobby. That's what we're hoping to do with this. There's a mission behind it, and I hope people can kind of latch on to that and see where we're coming from. But you can also follow us at Band of Bards on Twitter. That's where we're most active, talking shit.
So much shit posting.
So much.
Well, that's
right now it's chilling, but most of the time it's shit posting.
Everybody on the Twitter, go follow Band of Bards. They are a pleasant group to follow. So we got Tim, we got Chris, Bobby.
You can find me at Bobby L. Singer on Twitter.
Bobby L. Singer. I think I'm following you already, aren't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh yes.
So.
That's right. And Jorge, you're up.
I am on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, Artful, all of that stuff at Jorge Santiago Jr. All one word, no spaces. I am not on Twitter as much because Twitter is it does a number on me, like on my mental state. So I've been keeping off of Twitter for a while, just focusing on just drawing and keeping a healthy mind space, because doom scrolling is real and it'll mess you up. So it's terrifying, like how I can go from like, oh, it's a good day, to oh no, the world's on fire. Oh, like
literally.
Hey, I'm going to bed. It's only 12:10 p.m. or 12:10 a.m. at night. Okay.
Yeah,
listen.
Shit, it's 3:34.
Listen, comic skaters. Tim Drake is bi and has pretty much always been bi. If you actually read the fucking comics, so fuck you.
You know what? We were going to probably say something a little bit about that later, but you brought it up, and all I'm going to say is Connor ate that Drake cake. All right, guys, he was all up in there, and he ate that Drake cake. And deal with it, because that's okay. That's their thing, and I'm fine with it, personally. Anyway, guys, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Again, as I said, door is always open. Please reach out anytime. If I see you guys pop anything up there, we'll be reaching out to you as well.
See you next week then. That's what this is about.
Come on in. Come on by, man. Come on by. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make you do so many interviews that, within a year, you're gonna be like, I can handle this, no problem.
Yeah, the anxiety will be gone, and
knows all the people.
That's right. That's right. So we'll get you there. Don't worry. If you guys want to talk about, we can talk a little bit later. I can get you hooked up with a couple other shows to get on too. We should definitely have Chris front every single one of them. So
absolutely.
I have a face for radio, not for YouTube.
Why do you think I'm a pile of comics?
Chris, that's what I say. I have a voice that's made for radio and a face that's also made for radio.
Everything here is made for radio, especially the basement.
You just need bald guys, as the face.
Honestly, the basement is great because, to me, that just screams a man who's working. He's a working man. He's working his ass off. So
wouldn't it be weird if there was like ball gags and stuff hanging from the rafters? It'd be strange.
No,
Wow.
no.
That's
I don't
awesome.
think shame. I don't think shame.
yeah, right on, Bobby.
What do you think,
So where
somebody?
are they hiding now that you bring that up?
We don't pink shame here.
Other side of the camera. Other side of the camera.
Yes.
Totally unrelated, but about 2 years ago on Twitter, somebody posted a real estate listing that was like 74 pictures of this like $1.2 million home. It was this gorgeous home. And when you go through the first 25 or 30 or so, fuck CG.
Fuck CG.
When you go through like the first 25 or 30 photos or so, it's a totally normal house, beautiful amenities, hardwoods, teak, marble, and then you get to the master bedroom and you realize the bed is a little something special because there's a honest to God with bars cage built underneath the bed. And it pans around the room and there's the big X with the shackles, there's the hobby horse, they had no goddamn clue they put those pictures up.
That's awesome.
So
Honey,
anyway.
did you clean the bedroom up? I thought you were going to do that. That's like you at Ace going, did you send the link out? Well, you sent the link out. Well, guess what, honey? Pictures are on the internet.
Well, but now I want to know.
Lives forever on the internet.
Selling that house is how we funded Band of Bards.
No, right on. Right on. Again, we don't kink shame over here. So
that's why I'm in the basement.
I was gonna ask, did those pictures increase the value of the house? Like, because
it definitely increased the traffic to the listing site. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, I think it actually crashed the site after a while because it was some rinky-dink real estater.
They're powered by GoDaddy.
Oh yeah, we got to get you talking about comics. There's some daddy issues going on there.
Oh boy! All right.
Well, thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much. You folks have a great night, and like I said, again, please, anytime, let us know.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Have a great night. Thanks.
Bye, gang.
Peace.
We're going to start showing some comic books that just came out tonight. So what did y'all pick up this week?
And then there was 3.
Well, I
Just
think
tonight,
Yeah, Miracle Man,
unfortunately-
what'd you get this week?
Oh, come on.
Just to
very
let the people
curious what
know,
you got.
Lady Fantastic has taken the night off, and Ace is dealing with the dogs. So let's hope that everything's all right with Garnet. So who wants to go first?
Oh, poopers.
All right, I'll go. I got comics.
You go.
Let's do some comics. First of all, I'm gonna do new ones. We'll do new ones first. Now, what do you say? What do you say we do? This is as you like indie comics. This is as indie as comics gets. Let's put it that way.
Hells yeah.
Copra, number 41 from Michel Fife.
That came out this week.
He shipped it from his Etsy store.
Etsy. Nice.
Etsy. That's about as independent as you can get. Somebody
I
who makes
love
their own
that.
comics and sells them on Etsy.
It's where comics go.
If y'all have ever watched this little movie called The Suicide Squad, this is like if John Ostrander's Suicide Squad, but in an alternate dimension, in the multiverse.
They're already on issue 41.
41. Can you believe it? You
Is
can
there
pick
a
up the
trade?
trades. Yes, there's trades. There's 5 trades from Bergen Books. There's 1 trade already from Image because he went to Image and did 6 issues at Image. Now he's back to doing it on his Etsy site again.
I was just about to ask, is it on the Etsy site?
Oh, it's fucking fire, man! I'm telling you, go there and buy them. They're
No,
fucking,
you brought it up a while back. I just haven't had a chance to read it yet.
You can buy all his books. Will come autographed. If you buy his trades, he'll send them all to you autographed. Next up is a Kickstarter I did here for Cherry, which is a little bit of a naughty book. But I'll tell you what, these Cherry books are absolutely gorgeous. 3 of the same book. It's just a pinup. This is not the story of Cherry. This is just the pinup of Cherry. But I had to get that Tim Seeley. And here's a Larry Wells. This one's actually going to somebody. That's the original creator of Cherry. And, I had another pile of books. And, of course, I
Cherry
can't.
in space.
I don't see them. I'm gonna have to grab them because there's a couple of books I absolutely positively must show you guys tonight, but they're not here right now. Now we got Second Coming from Mark Russell and Richard Pace as the artist. It's an Ahoy book, guys. If you're not buying Ahoy books, you're missing out some of the best books on the stands today. Very few publishers putting out as wide of a range of titles as Ahoy.
And what does Ahoy stand for?
You're going to make me say this every time, aren't you?
Every time.
Asshole of the year. Asshole of the year. That was from our friend Tom Payer, publisher who came onto the show not too long ago. Check out that episode. Campisi, this is from Aftershock, the Dragon Incident. It was a dope little book, guys.
I just read it. It's so good.
A good little book. I was kind of surprised how good it was. I wasn't, Aftershock putting out some good books, but I was like, well, pretty damn good. Next up, we have Eve from Boom Studios.
Issue 3?
That's 4.
Damn, I'm so far behind. I only have issue 1. I'm hell.
I would have gotten that cover instead. The first cover is.
No, it's great. This cover is fucking fire.
All right, hold on a second. This is the cover I got. When you look at that cover, it's a good cover. Yeah. But when you look at this,
it's not that cover. It's not that cover.
Yeah, you should see the Static Shock covers that I got.
Next up, The Unbelievable Unteens from Dark Horse. This is in the
Black Hammer?
Yes, universe. Ordinary Gods #2. Fight Girls #2 from AWA.
Oh, I love AWA.
And you know what? That Second Coming book, that was actually a little bit older. I had missed it when it came out. This came out today. Blacksmith #2, another book from Ahoy, and our friend Eric Palicki. Listen, seriously, like I like Eric. Eric and I, we're Twitter buddies. When I say my friend, we're Twitter buddies. Like we haven't done shots. He's never introduced me to Adrian.
Well, by that rationale, I haven't had shots with all you all, but I still consider you all friends.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. We've never met. Well, you and I have never met. Either way,
met in person, you wouldn't be taking shots with us anyway.
Eric's my Twitter buddy. So when I say buddy, but he's a good dude. He makes great books. They're unusual. They're different. The art's beautiful. Cavalcanti is the artist.
Oh, it's in black and white. That's even better.
Yeah, the book's in black.
But good inside as outside.
You want the black and white. When you see what the story's about, you'll want it in black and white. That's all I'm going to say. Next up, we had the publisher on not too long ago from Away Blue World, and here we have the premiere edition of Dead Legends #2. This is like Mortal Kombat if it didn't suck.
Facts.
Mortal Kombat's played out, y'all. Let's be honest. Mortal Kombat was played out in 1997.
Oh man!
And the new movie starred somebody that wasn't even part of the game.
It was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay.
It was a promotional movie for a new character.
Yeah, they were making a video game with a new character with some stupid superpower. Seven Swords #1. That's from Aftershock. That came out last month.
Hardware.
Just found it. Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice. Wait until you see the cover I got.
Cohen, Sinkovich, Brandon Thomas's story. Listen, I've read all 3 books that have come out for the new relaunch of Milestone. Vita's doing great. Not saying anything bad about the Static book at all. Not saying anything bad about the Icon and Rocket book. But I'll tell you what. You want to know what one new Milestone book makes me feel like OG Milestone? It was Hardware. It was this one.
Yeah.
100%. Now I'm gonna do some back issues here. Like I said, I know I have another pile of books somewhere that I meant to grab, which I'd still like to show real quick because there's some dope ass books. And I found this one, the Me You Love in the Dark. There's that fella you like, that Scotty Young guy.
What?
That's a Scotty Young book.
When did he do this?
It came out like 2 weeks ago.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
I gotta add that to the list.
Then we got God Killer #1 there. It's like some Thunder Ashes or something. I don't know
I
what it
didn't
is.
realize that was a
Okay.
Black Mass book. Now I want it even more.
Yeah.
I love their books.
Listen, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Both, I got the second issue, I got this first issue. Both of them were cover buys. I don't even know what the story is. Those covers are just they're gorgeous. And yeah, okay, there's a little bit of boobage. That's not what it's about. I can get all the boobage I want in comics. That's not what it is. I just read a message from Michael. It says, you fucked me up, Michael. Did I show this last week? I don't know if I showed that last week. Did I show that last week?
I think you did.
Did I? Okay, I think I did get that.
I
can't
did
show you
not
this.
get that.
I can't show you that one. That's a grown-up book. I think I can't show you this one.
Grown book.
That's a grown-up book. Here we have Batman 89 #1 with a fucking fire Jerry Ordway cover.
Let me know what the read is like. I didn't pick it up because I didn't know what the read was going to be like.
I heard you picked it up and somebody read your copy, but read being a poor euphemism for horribly fucked it up.
I haven't finished it yet. I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. Rorschach #11. Guys, listen.
One more. It's almost done.
I like talking, but that's literally what I said when I bought this issue. Like, I'm not even trying to bash Tom.
I got issue 1 and I'm reading in trade when it all comes out.
It's just, it felt like it took forever.
Yeah.
It felt like it took forever. Justice League Last Ride #4, or as I like to call it, the reason Derek Robertson should draw every single Justice League cover forever. Look at that. Look at that. Fucking love it. Love it. Next up, we have Infinite Frontier #4. I have the Brian Hitch cover. My shop's getting me all the Brian Hitch interconnecting covers. Look at that. Calvin.
Look at that forehead.
I still need a 3 for the B cover.
Oh, I'll see what I can do for you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'll see what I can do for you. And I think this is going to be my last new book. And speaking of the Drake cake, here we got Batman Urban Legends #6 with the variant cover of Wonder Woman fighting. Is that Zealot?
That's Zealot.
That's from the Wildstorm universe.
That it is.
Why?
He's Wildcats material.
Yeah, why? Yeah. Why do they have a Wildcats character on the cover here?
No.
Did Jim Lee do the cover? No.
No, they got feet. Here's the thing, though. Like all bullshitting aside, Jim Lee can and does draw feet. He just doesn't like it. Same thing with hands. He can and does draw them. He just doesn't like them. But not Jim Lee, Robert Liefeld. That's what we're talking about. That's what I meant to talk about. Jim Lee is a fantastic artist, and I love his work. Robert Liefeld is the one that can't draw fucking feet. Who is this? Arquetto? I don't even know who the artist is. It's great. I love it. It's beautiful. All right, some back issue goodness here. I have 2 more issues to go to finish this. Birds of Prey #40. 2 issues left to finish the whole run.
Are you reading Suicide Squad?
Yes. So good.
Yeah, I'm thinking about jumping on it. I heard it was really good.
Get it, bro. Get it.
I have every issue of that and Teen Titans Academy. I haven't even started reading more than the first 2 issues of Teen Titans Academy. There's too much.
Right. Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad might be the best DC book out right now.
Ooh.
It might be the best DC book out right now. Here we got some cool stuff. I'm going to show y'all real quick. We got Madman Atomic Comics #7 from Image.
Oh, Madman. I love those books.
Michael, the rest are in that pile, and I don't know where it is. It's not in here. I got to go find it, but I don't want to shut down the show to go find it. Now, I bought an entire run of Airboy this weekend for $21. Here you go. Here's a couple of random issues. There's #1. There's number 34. Almost a full run. Once issue 40. There's issue 33. Here's issue 30. I bought the whole run
just because the Stevens cover, didn't you?
Dave Stevens.
There you go.
That's why I bought it.
Me too. I'd do the same thing.
Nothing against the rest of it. That's all I care about. I just cared about the Dave Stevens cover. And for $21,
why do you think I wound up getting an entire run of DN Agents just so I could get the last issue?
Right. That's Stevens cover. Next up, guys, this one was one I was really, really, really excited about. Secret Origins #36. Now, why was I excited about this one?
Why?
A certain
Why, you
writer.
ask?
Poison Ivy and Green Lantern.
Closer. Gaiman and Buckingham.
So Neil Gaiman, Mark Buckingham, the duo behind the latter half of Miracleman at Eclipse. They did this story. They did the Poison Ivy story. What's that? The Poison Ivy one. They did the Poison Ivy one.
Oh, okay.
The fucking Poison Ivy one. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
Now, another run that I picked up. Oh, yeah. And when I bought that, I got a couple books here that are going to be going to my friend, Mr. Wurst. Here we have, and we have the Secret Origins Special #1. That's a Brian Boland cover with Alan Moore's story.
Ooh.
Here we have Secret Origins 41, which is a cover.
That cover is clean.
Yeah, it's a cover swipe of like Flash 2.
Yeah. I'm not even a Flash fan. I want that book.
Same. And the final issue, Secret Origins #50, all three going to Mr. Wurst.
Yummy. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I picked up almost the whole run of Volume 2 of Metal Hurlant.
Is that Tank
Now
Girl?
For what's that?
Never heard of it.
Tank Girl?
No, it is not. Metal Hurlant is a humanoids book. The original Metal Hurlant contained quite a bit of work from somebody you're familiar with, perhaps, that goes by the name of Mobius.
Mobius.
So here we have, it was a 13-issue, Volume 2 was 13 issues. It's all shorts. It's all stories that run like, it's kind of like 2000 AD, kind of. All right. I got two of these. One is going to my little brother. But guys, listen, if you see Metal Hurlant and you're looking for something different or something unusual, all right, something that kind of pushes the boundaries of what comics can do, then you want to read Metal Hurlant.
Different from heavy metal.
Yes. You know, heavy metal, 2000 AD, Metal Hurlant, all of them kind of owe to each other a little bit for kind of making themselves who they are. You know, they've all, I don't want to say stole a little bit from each other, but they've all had inspiration from one another, let's say, and follow a similar format. So here we have Forbidden Zone #1. I got this solely for the Sudam cover. This young lady is wearing clothing, but that's a Sudam cover right there. Here's the part that you really want to see is, where is it? Where's that story? Hold on. I should have had this queued up. Goddamn rookie that I am. I can't even find it. It doesn't matter. So listen, guys, these 90s comic magazines, a lot of them got a little, you know, maybe some boobies. Maybe some butts. Maybe some butts.
Butts.
But I'll tell you what.
Are you going to tell us it's a banger?
Warning, 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 warning. Banger alert, banger alert. Oh, look at the little kitty. And he's playing with the tiny little chick. Wait, you're here for comic books, you dumb asshole! It puts the lotion in the basket. It puts the lotion in the basket.
Wham!
Putting the ass in Asteroid. That's right, Michael. That is what I should have gone with. That is 100% accurate. All right, a couple more books here. We're going to show off real quick with a Joseph Michael Linsner cover. Now, listen, Linsner is not the name today that he once was, but in the 90s, Linsner was one of those hottest artists in comics. And there we have a book that's about Cadillacs and dinosaurs, and we have Sexy Lady in her lingerie. I don't give a shit. It's a good cover, man. Next up from Red Circle Comics. Red Circle Comics is the horror line from Archie in the 70s. This is number 11. It's their sorcery book. This book, when 11 issues, had 4 different names. in 11 issues. There we got Sapphire number 6. That's an Air Cell book. And you say to yourself, what's Air Cell? X fucking exactly. That's what Air Cell is. There
How did you know?
If you said that, everybody else was saying it too.
No, so Air Cell is an imprint of Malibu Comics. Y'all remember a Malibu Comics?
I do remember Malibu.
Yeah. So Air Cell, they did some of their Marvel bought Malibu to get their color separation process back in 1998. It took almost 2 years for them to take them over. By the time they took them over, they decided to not publish any of their characters, and everybody had caught up on color separation, so there's no reason to buy it.
Whoops, it's called Photoshop.
So the other day, I get a text from my friend Rob, and he's like, "Hey, make sure you grab my What If number 107.
Oops,
Make sure you grab What If 107."
But I still love the cover with the dog.
On eBay too.
He goes, oh, I meant 105. So there's 107.
Sorry.
That's all right. And when I bought that, it came along with this flashback journey into mystery number 1.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't have no money that day.
It was like $5. I'm not worried about it.
I know.
Fusion number 1 from Eclipse. I don't know what this is about, but it looks like there's furries involved. So of course I
like Eclipse. They've been putting out pretty good stuff.
Well, Eclipse itself hasn't been around for a while, but they did put out great stuff. You know, back in the day, Miracleman was from them. Scout. There's a bunch of real decent titles that
and
they
then
did.
They went out of business at like the best time when they're going through the Silver Age and Miracleman, and then no more. And then.
You know what? Someday I'll give you the story from that I've picked up bits and pieces of about Eclipse and how they went under, and it's a hell of a story, gang. It's a hell of a story. This is Legend of Wonder Woman number 4. Last issue I needed for the run. This is Kurt Busiek in 1986. It's also Trini Robbins, incredible artist. Just she nails that golden age look so well. A little bit of the old Moon Knight, Mark Spector Moon Knight number 10 and 21.
Nice.
I had that issue when I was a kid. I do not have it anymore. I don't know where it is.
I have one of that run, or one of that arc. The Spider-Man Punishers.
I was talking about Jerry Ordway earlier tonight with that Batman 89. Here we got Power of Shazam 23. Every single cover is a Jerry Ordway cover.
Yeah, that's a beautiful cover.
That's worth it by itself.
Yeah.
Strayer number 1. This is from Aftershock. Now it's Justin Jordan who also worked on that Luther Strode book a while back. But there's one reason I picked this book up. Like I was at a dollar bin. I'll try an Aftershock number 1 out for $1 anyway. But this one struck me because the colorist is Tamara Bonvillain. Now, listen, if you should have a favorite of everything in the comics. You should have a favorite letterer. You should have a favorite artist. You should have a favorite writer. Sure. You should have a favorite letterer. You should have a favorite inker. You should have a favorite colorist because every single one of them absolutely contributes to the production of that book and the things you love about it, whether you realize it or not. Tamara Bonvillain is one of my favorite colorists. Anything she works on, I give a shot because I'll typically love it. Now, the last book I'm going to show you all tonight. What the hell happened to that other pile of books? I'll save them for next time. My last book I'm going to show you tonight. This is a book that Mr. Worst, he did give me some good advice on, so I can't beat him up too much about that What If number 107. Because he sent me a picture of a book, and he goes, "Hey, I bought this today," and he sends it to me. I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." I just saw that at a shop for $8.50, and he responds with "Get it" in capital letters. So here we have.
Yes.
What's that? What was I ask you? What's the significance of this book?
Mr. Worst, would you like to explain?
Please.
Maybe not. Maybe not. So I'll tell you. So it's Marvel Superheroes Fall Special for 1992. It's an 80-page giant. And if you see here, you got a couple of names.
I would have, but I kicked myself out of the damn Zoom. Because I just do that. But yeah, if Miracleman was just starting on that, yeah, this is the first chronological appearance of Rogue. It's actually a good storyline because this takes place. It would have been, and I'm sure they truncated it, they cobbled it together because it was supposed to be issue 25 of Ms. Marvel, but it was canceled at issue 23, so it never saw the light of day. So found its way into here. They kind of fixed it up a little bit to make it a bit more sense for a standalone story. And here's your first Rogue before she appears in that Avengers Annual 10. So you find out how she goes and grabs Captain Marvel, or rather Ms. Marvel before she's Captain Marvel.
I thought that was an X-Men, Uncanny X-Men when you see that.
They might have shown that years later, but this is the story that shows that entire origin story that's behind.
Because that's how I learned. That's how I learned that she was how powerful Rogue was when I read that when she like basically clapped Miss Marvel in X-Men. She like absorbed her and just threw her off the bridge.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my god!
This was supposed to be that story. This was supposed to be that story. It's their first opportunity to actually put that story in 26 years, Rob. 23 years.
Yeah. And the story is worth it alone just to get this book. Yeah. I mean, I paid $40 for mine. It was originally listed at 100, and I went, yeah, let me take a look at eBay. It goes, oh, for you, yeah, just take it at 40.
There you go. There you go. It's beneficial to make a good relationship with the guy who owns the LCS or gal or NB, whatever. The person that owns your LCS, make sure they know who you are. Chat with them. Be friendly. Be personable. Because I'll tell you what, it's a rare occurrence that I pay list price on a book. And yeah, I buy a lot of books, but it's not so much because of that. It's more because I talk to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, guys, if you run a comic shop, your prom night was not a dream. You'd like to have some friends.
Why do you think we're doing a YouTube show on Wednesday nights when we could be reading the comic books that we just purchased earlier in the afternoon?
Right. So anyway, that's it. I'm gonna let you take over here. And I'm gonna go see if I can find out what the heck happened to those other comics, because there was a couple I really did want to show you.
I'll let you go before me. You want to go next? Kirk, comics on the mind.
Oh yeah, let's do it. All right, everybody, what's going on? This is 3 weeks of books. I think 3 weeks of books. I know, right? Get your damn books.
At least you picked them up. That's what's important.
Yes. So I picked up Cinnamon, issue number 1. This was a great read. I love anything that shows like the imagination of anybody. In this case, the imagination of his cat. It's hilarious. If you have not read it, check it out. When I read, am I saying it right? Campisi?
I'm gonna just say yes.
Okay, thank you. But the story was good. Definitely, it's like a mixture of like mob, like a mob movie with like fantasy. Just in this world, like dragons exist and they're well known, and they have like their territory that they stay on, and yeah, just read it and see what happens. The ending was like, oh, did not see that coming. But I picked up issue 1 of Hardware. Got that old school cover, old school Hardware. I already listened to somebody do a review of it, and that's what made me even want to pick it up even more. I can't wait to read it. And I also picked up Static Shock issue number 1. And then here is issue number 2. Had to go with those B covers. A covers are all right. Here's Batman Adventures. The Adventure Continues, Season 2. I started to read issue 2. Issue 1 was really good. I'm so far behind.
Is this the Court of Owls storyline?
Yes, that's the reason why I want to buy. I meant to buy the Court of Owls trade today, but I had to budget. But because I never read it. I listened to like a review of the series, from Comics Explained. But Yeah, I definitely want to read that trade. But here's Detective Comics Batman. Still got to catch up on them, like 3 issues behind. Here's Daredevil 33, great cover. That's part 3 of Lockdown. Here's issue 5, Spider-Man Shadow, Spider's Shadow. Whew, that story is crazy. I'm a little bit behind, but here's Power Mighty Morphin. I have the Power Rangers one, but I haven't been able to read it. But here's another Batman. What is this? 111. I really dig Miracle Molly as a character. You see, I'm so behind. Here's Detective. What is it? 1040.
I'm
Batman.
so wondering what's going to happen with Miracle Molly and all the characters that have been introduced when Tinian leaves at 117.
Someone was talking about. I was watching a video the other day. They brought up a good point. If their theory is right, I really hope so. But like they're talking about how like they can see like what's her name? You just said her name. Having a brain fart.
Miracle Molly.
Not Miracle Molly, but the other chick I don't like. Joker's new boo.
Oh, Punchline. We're all hoping she dies in the Suicide Squad.
Hey, but someone was saying that she might get rolled up into Suicide Squad, and you know most people don't last in Suicide Squad. So.
That was Robert on Comics Explained.
Yes,
he was explaining that Punchline is such a annoying character. The way that she was introduced, and it was kind of. It took forever for her to finally be introduced. We all thought she was going to be this Matthew character that was earlier brought in from Tom King. Instead, it was just some college girl that, in any case, no one eventually cared about Punchline. Yeah. So wouldn't it be a great idea to add her into Suicide Squad? But she's kind of new, so we want to use her character. So she'll be in like 3 issues, and then we'll kill her in the 3rd.
Please, and
great idea.
I totally agree.
Go ahead.
Oh, what up, Roscoe? Thank you for coming by, bro. Here is Wolverine number 14. Still haven't read. I'm still not caught up on Wolverine.
I haven't read the last 4.
I'm a little bit further behind than that. Issue number 3 was so great, so I can't wait to read this tonight. The Mighty Valkyries, I've been digging it. You know, Loki is doing his bad guy thing again, so it's gonna be interesting. I'm 2 issues behind in Money Shot. I gotta read that last issue, number 12. So I can't wait to read that. And then Resistance, The Uprising. I love AWA Upshot. We got so many good things. And then here's Daredevil number 32.
That's a nice one right there.
Yeah, I'm really digging Elektra as a Daredevil. It's just she's training as a character. She's just training as a character. And then here's my boy Black Knight.
Now there's 2.
Blade for the final issue. Can't wait to read that.
It's such an ebony blade.
I know, right?
I almost screwed up this story. I'm going to stop talking about that issue, but it's good, and you're going to want to go back and get that first issue where she's on the cover with it.
I think I have it. I have the whole run, so I don't know if I have that cover. Here is Something Killing the Children, number 18.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to be just like with you guys soon. Huh? I'm going to be like you guys soon. I'm going to be on board with that train.
You know, I missed it myself.
I heard you gonna have what I don't have. I don't have the first couple issues. I have them all in trade. I
don't have any.
Wow.
I have 10 and up, or no, I have 7 and up.
Yes.
And then my favorite series, Inkblot, my little interdimensional traveling kitty. It's basically a reality warping cat. That cat is crazy. I'm an issue behind. I gotta read 4, but Geiger's been really great. I've really been digging the series. And then he got some more Sadarsky goodness with Stillwater. I can't wait to read this. I'm like, oh yeah, it's the baby.
I'm behind too. I still gotta read it.
And then here's Immortal Hulk number 49. Is this the last issue or is 50 the last issue?
One more.
One more, that's what I figured.
One more.
And then that's who it is. Who we thought was going to be in the episode of What If last night. It was probably an angled one, but you know, it wasn't this angled one.
No,
it was not Shuma Garath.
I know. But I love Savage Avengers. I've been digging the whole. I stopped reading Conan because it's just I need a break. But I am definitely digging him in the Marvel universe.
Right on.
And then this was, oh my god, this was. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like reading the rest of it during the interview because this like is so good. Like it's basically. Well, I don't want to spoil it if you're not reading it, but let's just say that someone is under the control of the red room now.
And the entire time she's just trying to recite litigation stuff to
I
try and
know.
retain her mind. What do Hulks do? Smash!
Yeah, it was. But did you see the end? Did you see her new form now? Like
Omega Red Hulk.
Basically.
The Red Winter Omega Red Hulk.
The Winter Hulk. Winter She-Hulk.
All of that works.
Yeah.
All the above.
All of the above. Yes, that's the answer to that. That's yes.
Oh, thank you, Roscoe.
Love that shirt.
Yeah, that's all I got. Let's see what you got, Rob.
All right. Unless Miracleman found some of those books.
I did. There's only 5 real quick. If you want me to show them.
Show.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
One more Kickstarter I got, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to show them. You know, we haven't had them on the show yet, but we're going to try and make it happen. Burn Residue, number 3.
That's a nice cover.
This was an incredibly good Kickstarter, guys. Really fun story. There's lots of gasoline being doused on people, and bad things happening to them. So the last thing I'm going to show here, guys, these 5 books, and you'll see why I wanted to show them to you all so very, very badly. Okay. Last week, I might have spent what some would call an irresponsible amount of money on comics on a couple of websites. And one of them was the Larry Wells Cherry website.
Uh-oh.
Cherry is a naughty comic. About as naughty as they get. And Larry Wells, the original artist, has been publishing this book since I think his first issue was 1979.
Oh, damn.
And here we have issue number 20. That's Cherry and her lovely mother. Here's issue 21.
Did he sign them?
Yep.
Nice.
Dang.
Here's issue 23 that was published in 2018. Autographed again. And now the reason these last 2 books, I grabbed that. There was 3 books I really wanted to get. I needed 20 and 21, so I grabbed them as well. But I wanted to get this one because you can only get it off the site. Okay. Only get it on the site. Here from, I want to say, the story's from 1994. I'm not sure when the issue was published. This is Cherry Deluxe. This was kind of like an anthology where the creator Larry let other creators come in and write stories, draw stories for his character. It's an adults only book. And I want you to tell me, whose name do you see on that cover?
What the fuck?
Oh, really? What?
Yes, right.
What?
Neil Gaiman, his mother fluffing self.
What year?
Crazy.
Hold on. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. Let me look it up.
Is it his best time period in his writing? Late 80s, early 90s?
He was doing Sandman. It's while he was writing Sandman.
I got to get this. This is his best time period writing.
Absolutely. Let me see here. Oh, wait.
Damn, that's crazy. Dude.
Come on now. You're just being cruel, Mr. Mobile telephone device.
Uh-oh. Come on, Sal.
Come on. I'm trying to bring this up, and of course, it's moving like.
Come on, Google machine. We have an internet show that we're trying to conduct here. Comply with the Miracleman.
It's really tough.
You was first.
somehow I didn't even add it into my list. So Cherry Deluxe, like I said, it was the anthology book he did. It's regular size comic, it's not like it's but it's only one issue. That one came out in 1998, but the story was written in 1994 by Mr. Gaiman. And here, the last one I'm going to show you, this is a reprint of issue 2. Now I have issue 2. It's the Golden Apple Legacy Edition with a brand new cover from an artist that many of you may know named Peach Momoko.
Didn't that just come out?
This one came out not too long ago, and I'll tell you what, guys, already going for a bit of a premium. He autographed this one too, but on the inside,
That's a nice cover.
it is a nice cover.
Gotta be
There's,
$80.
I got it for 25 on the site.
All right.
It's totally worth it. Go there and get it, because right now, I'll tell you, the Legacy Edition #1, also with a Peach Momoko original cover, different cover, that one's already going for well over $100.
I'd imagine.
So, and it's sold for the same price, 25. You can get a trade, a version of it without the trade dress for like 50. I was like, that's I don't think I want that. It's the same exact cover, just no trade dress. So, 100% recommend getting that book. If you like Peach's work, yes, it's a sex comic. Yes, there's naughty things in it. But there's
let me clutch my pearls.
There's some naughty books that actually are a lot of fun, and Cherry is one of them. The Larry Wells is very much satirical. I want to say, before I get much further, this issue that came out in 2018, which is the reason that originally sent me over there, there is a 4-page story in there in which a giant alien version of Cherry goes to Washington and stomps on the White House. Okay? Because she's at the border wall and CBP is stopping the illegal aliens. And she literally stomps it. Giant, naked, blonde stomps the White House into dust. So Larry and I share similar politics.
I see.
I cannot recommend it enough, gang. Highly, highly recommend the Cherry books. Again, if you're a grown-up, if you're under the age of 18, you shouldn't be watching Not Near Mint. But if you're a grown-up, you should definitely check it out. And that's it. Thank you for letting me show those.
All right. I guess yes, Michael. It is a sex comic. Yes, there are naughty things in it. Yes, you have to hide it from your mom. And yes, she knows where you hide your comics, and she'll find it anyway.
Yes, she will.
They always do.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim's still watching. Hey,
Right, Tim?
You got books and you want to show them? Up on in. Otherwise, I guess I'll show some books. So here we go.
Show us some books.
This was this week.
Dang.
My man got some
All
books.
them second prints, that's why.
Now, y'all know what this weekend is, don't you?
Free comic book day.
So what I'm going to do here is, and I hope you'll all allow me to indulge this a little bit, I'm going to share the screen to Free Comic Book Days, so all y'all know where to get this stuff. So if you go to freecomicbookday.com, you can go to find a shop, put in your zip code. My zip code here is 33187, no, 987. Please don't rob me. Reasons. And you will be able to see all the comic shops that are in your area. So here is just the ones that are participating in Free Comic Book Day in Miami. So if you put in Miami or Broward or West Palm Beach or wherever your area is around the country, you should be able to find where a Free Comic Book Day is being held in your area. So why don't I get to showing what some of those comics are that came out this week. So you won't be able to get this today, but you will be able to get it on Saturday. So we live Free Comic Book Day. And I know that some people around the country might have a little bit of a difficult time. So if you're not able to get it, like I wound up getting 2 copies. So one, I know that Comics on the Mind will have some issues, no pun intended, in California getting that. So this will go in your pile. Here it
That's an original story in that universe, isn't it?
It is.
Nice.
There's Batman Fear State, the story that'll be lead. I have read none of these. I've read only a couple comic books today, and I'll let you know which ones they are. So here is Spider-Man Venom, and these will be kicking off some of the new storylines that'll be taking place.
Nice.
And just as I said earlier, I'm now on the House of Slaughter, so I'll be picking up I guess I'm now picking up all of these Something is Killing the Children because I've read the first volume of the trade paperback. I'm on board, and I'm going to be getting the first few issues. Can't wait.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
Oh,
King
yeah.
Shark.
Is it like a section out of the story? Do you have any idea?
I'm not certain, but when I put this into CLZ today, it said something that this is like some special edition. But when I take a look at the UPC at the bottom here, it just looks like a regular edition to me.
Gotcha.
Here is Avengers featuring the Hulk.
Nice. Hashtag that's hot.
I wonder if
Stray
we're
Dogs.
in the Avengers.
That one's a new story.
New story.
Wait, no way.
Stray Dogs fans out there,
No way.
Reese and Trish Forstner, they have a new story in that. Unlike The Boys, that just repeats Hero Gasm issue 1, but without the cover.
I want that cover.
Here is the Black Cow Exit. This is part of Black Mask's offerings.
Such a good story.
This is Who Sparked the Montgomery Bus Boycott, the Rosa Parks story.
That's an interesting one. I didn't even know about that one.
Here is On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century.
That's cool looking.
Now, just to let people know, when you go to pick up your comics, your free comics at Free Comic Day, not every comic book in the shop is going to be free. Like when you get to a shop and you see all this, you might go, hey, look, that's the first Taskmaster. I want that. That's free, right? No, look for this logo. Look for that logo. That's how you'll be able to tell.
The other thing to remember, everybody, is these are not free for your comic shop. So make sure you show appreciation.
Yeah, your comic shops have to pay the shipping at least for all this stuff, and then some for the paper and the printing and everything. Your comic shops have to pay, but it's to bring you into the shop so that this way you can go, hey, there's other comics that are out here too. This is from a movie that I like. This is from a TV show I like. Hey, what's the storyline in this? Well, if you're a comic fan and you're at Free Comic Day, engage in the people around you because this is how you build the community. So those are the free comics that came out, and that's this Saturday. So do check that out. It's on the 14th. Next year, it'll be in May again. So here is the independence that I picked up today. Here's Bitterroot number 15. This concludes the third storyline in that.
Beautiful.
Here is Eve 4. Apparently, I got the wrong cover. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this cover, but just, Jesus Christ, that cover that Miracleman got. Oh. Chef's kiss. Here's America Chavez number 4. Not 100% if this is the last issue or not. And Hulk not free.
It's a 5-part mini.
I don't know if it's 5 issues or 6. I'll let you know once I
read issue 1. It was all right.
And yes, comics should be free every day, but none of mine. I only send free comics to all of my friends that are on this show.
Accurate.
Here is Black Cat, the second print that features the Tiger Division. I just love the cover.
I'm so mad I dropped that series because it's got.
So I got 2 of these. Here's the regular cover, which Marvel, thank you. I appreciate seeing these indicias back on the comics again. Please keep doing that. But then I had to get this. This is gorgeous. It's the Asian American Heritage Month, and I was the only person in my shop to order this. This is gorgeous. And, well, Lady Fantastic, she wound up ordering 2 copies on eBay today. So if we're talking about this, hopefully you're picking that up. Here's Daredevil. I didn't get the cover that Comics on the Mind got. I preferred this. This looks like one of those ratio variants.
Nice.
It's just gorgeous. Between the two, I didn't want. You saw the size of my stack here. I didn't want it any bigger.
Oh yeah.
It's not the size of your stack; it's how you use it that matters.
Exactly, like a second print, just because you love this cover to begin with, and why not?
That was a great cover and a great. Issue.
These goddamn publishers and their phenomenal covers on second prints.
They have our number.
They're just some evil bastards.
So it's hard for me to call this between cover of the week. Now, I've been having some. I like Peach, but she does have a tendency to repeat herself. This cover, on the other hand, the Defenders cover that just came out today, this is gorgeous. This is probably some of the best work that I have seen from Peach Momoko. Between the two, I couldn't tell you which one's the cover of the week.
The Peach. The Peach. The Peach.
Did you read it? Is that based on the old Defenders? But like,
I have not read it yet.
It has. It's kind of like an amalgamation team. It has some original Defenders. It has some newer versions of some of those same characters.
That's how it was originally, right? It was just like whoever wanted to be on the team. If you wanted to stay,
Silver Surfer, Doc Strange.
Defenders was the unteam. They were people. They were solo characters that worked together.
What is that?
FF Life Story.
Oh yeah,
3.
that was a King.
Now, this came out today, and I don't know how to feel about it. I am going to spoil this a little bit. There's a new costume in Spider-Man, Miles Morales today, and that costume kind of looks like Scarlet Spider Redux with tennis or basketball shoes, and I don't know. It's the weird thing with the mask.
I don't mind. If you want to open up the book and show us, you can.
Let's do that. I'll take off the tape because I've made too many mistakes like that in the past.
Hey, real quick, Tim had asked that On Tyranny. Is that an adaptation of the prose? Was it graphic? It wasn't just prose, was it?
I did not even look at it yet. I put it in a bag and board, and I was going to get to it later because my luck, I keep stuff out of a bag and board, and all of a sudden, hey, look, I just brought coffee into the holy shit. Yeah, you can tell that's happened to me before.
Yeah.
Not recently. So here's the new outfit.
That's great. That's a dope ass costume.
I like the red and black. Here's another one.
Interesting.
Yeah, similar to Ms. Marvel being on TV. Instead of having the superhero boots, they're starting to gravitate more towards the all functional tennis shoe, basketball shoe, whatever kind of shoe that's not a superhero shoe. So it's weird to me. It's just me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Here is the 100th issue of Runaways. I mean, it's the 38th, but if it was running concurrently and Marvel didn't decide to do their dickish things of restarting with a new issue number 1 when they need to bump sales, it would be issue 100. And I'd care more about it if it came out regularly. Your Spider-Man Spider Shadow, the last issue of Chip Zdarsky. It should be fantastic. Every issue has been great so far. Here's Captain Atom, number 6. Did I say Captain Atom? I meant children. It shows you how little I care about a lot of these X-Men books, there's too many. Here's another X-Men book I'll probably not get around to for about half a year, which reminds me, next week, I might not be on the show, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be a show. Next week, I'm going to be at a trial in Key West. Please don't rob me. Again, the house has dogs. But I will let Miracleman run the show from his domicile, where hopefully everything will go fine, and I will be in the chat and go, hey, we didn't crash and burn and nothing set on fire, right?
It's going to be a time.
You got.
Why is comics on the mind like you're crying?
Oh my God, why is Comics on the Mind on fire? His beard, what did he do?
It's gonna be a glorious train wreck. I promise everybody that.
Now you see that scream sounds very familiar when I started going through, hey, let's see what DC has to offer this week, right? Batman. Batman. Batman.
A lot of Batman.
Batman. Hey, yeah,
What
this is the
precisely
issue
is a
where
Batman?
this is the issue where it happens in. But I have more than just one because another
That
person said, hey, I don't want this.
dreaded
You want it? Yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because this was the one that was in my pile. So now I'll give this one to Ace because Ace.
Are you reading that Batman Raptor series too?
I am not. There's just too much.
I
I'm just
know.
reading the first title of Batman.
It seems interesting.
Is there a reason that people are angry that Tim Drake
I want Batman.
might like Wiener? I really don't understand it.
I mean, it's just society.
Why does anybody care that anybody likes Wiener?
I don't know.
I was saying it earlier. No one gave a shit. Yeah, go ahead.
Nobody gave a shit what his sexuality was last week.
There was that, and Dakin, the son of Wolverine. He's bisexual. That came out in 2006. No one gave a fuck about Wolverine's son being bisexual. And he's a narcissistic sociopath that had fun doing it. He didn't care who he banged as long as he got the ends to the means that he wanted.
Right.
But all of a sudden, Robin being gay for 81 years. Wait, 81? What Robin are you talking about? Robin! You know there's more than one, right? What? Yeah, this is the third. This is the third canonical Robin, Tim Drake, who was created in 1989, and who cares?
Real quick, I just got to say this: these goddamn culture war tourists went crazy about Tim Drake this week. You know, you got these YouTubers that like to talk about comics that, you know, primarily get their information by doing a quick Google search. They sure as shit don't get it from reading comics. And they're sycophantic, suck-up morons who follow them around and repeat everything they say, yelling about this nonstop. And that's a dope-ass cover. And, you know, I had a lot of fun dunking on them this week. That's all I'm going to say.
And rightly you should, because I just pretend that they don't exist because they're not real human beings to me.
No, there's that. Nice. Is that the
third
second
print?
Third. The cover is getting rougher with every printing.
It is. Eventually they're going to release the 8th print and it's just going to be her eyes.
That's going to be, I gotta get that third print. That covers
that Rorschach. Next issue, I'll finally be able to read the whole series, and I'll probably just dump it on some unsuspecting reader. And this is the last issue that came out this week that I picked up. This is Wonder Woman.
Dude, do you know what that story's about?
No.
I'd already checked out by the time my LCS queued me in, so it's sitting in my bin. But that's Wonder Woman fighting the Wonder Man of Earth 11, where they're all gender swapped characters.
Oh, so it's like Sailor Stars from Sailor Moon.
A little bit like it.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So now that I showed all the books, I just want to let everybody know that the books that you wind up seeing behind me, the shop that I go to, his name is John Freshly. You can find him on Instagram at Miami Fresh Comics. He does a regular Instagram show every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and it's a claim sale. So if you wind up seeing something like, I don't know, this, and he goes, I don't know, $150. You might go, oh, let me take a look at Key Collector. Before you even start looking at Key Collector, someone goes, yeah, I'll take that. So just be ready with your phone going, oh, shit, I better get that. He has good and fair prices, so check them out. Otherwise, thank you for watching us. We're going to be back at our regular time, which is, I think it's like 10 o'clock or something, a.m., p.m. No one quite really knows anymore. And I click on things and nothing happens. So we'll be back 10 p.m. Eastern next week. Comics on the Mind. Do you have anything going on in your channel?
We're probably not going to be doing the Teachers Lounge this week because I'm going out of town like tomorrow. I'll be going till Sunday. So no, nothing for me this week.
Much like you, I'd rather be gone for like a couple days and back. Next week, I'm going to be gone like all week. It's gonna
Yeah.
suck.
Well, it's for work, so you want to make some money.
That's why I'm going out of town, to make that
Yeah.
money to pay for car repairs, air conditioning, and not comic books. Because adulting sucks, people. Be a kid forever.
Sure does.
Unless
Yeah,
you can
right.
make enough money where it doesn't matter anymore. But good luck with that. Miracleman, what's going on the Twitter sphere? Other than the whacked out change that they wound up doing to Twitter, where I almost unfriended Ree because I thought I was not following her, and I go to click and unfollow. What's going on with they changed Twitter today? So what's going on with Twitter, Miracleman?
You know, honestly, I don't think mine's updated yet because I didn't see any changes at all. But what else is actually going on Twitter right now? We've got a lot of outraged screechers complaining about Tim Drake being bisexual. And if you dig long enough, they'll literally admit they don't even read comics. So ignore them. Embrace it. Let's just be honest here. I don't want to give you any idea about my search history, but there is some fanfic in the world of Connor Kent and Tim Drake. Just so you all know, they have been shipped together more times than probably any two previously hetero characters have ever been shipped together. So, you know, it's really not that big of a deal. And the people screeching about it, they very clearly do not read, like, or love comics. Certainly not the way that we and everybody else in the chat here do, you know, by actually reading and loving them. So don't worry about that too much. Other than that, I ain't got much going on. We'll be doing the Not Near Miss show next Wednesday. We'll be doing Brags and Boards on Thursday with the incredible, with the what's that? Sandman edition. That's right. That's it. Come on by and see me on Twitter at Komodo1977. We can dunk on some chuds. We can talk some politics. We can talk about comics. We can do all three at the same times, which strangely enough seems to happen quite often. And that's it.
And go check out Michael Emon's Data and Riker fanfic from the 1980s. Apparently, from what we hear, it's pure perfection.
That sounds fucking hot. I'd like to actually read that.
So we'll see you next week, people. Thank you so much for tuning in, replay viewers, live viewers, and everybody in between, which if you're watching and you're dead and in limbo,
go to the light.
Rule 1, don't die. Don't forget Black Lives Matter, because if Black Lives Matter, no lives matter. Trans rights, because if not now, when? And Helen fucking Mirren, because Ace needs to fuck Helen Mirren. And I need to make a quick cut of all of me saying that, which is probably at least 50 times by now. Good night, everybody. Don't die.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Wurst, Lady Fantastic, Miracleman, and Comics on the Mind will be back next week. Same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint.